Strong demand, but weak sales numbers. Let's talk about it on Today in Mortgages. Hey, what's going on, Dreammakers? Welcome back to the show. We're talking about what's real, what's hype, and we should actually be paying attention to out there in the world of mortgage and real estate news. It's Today in Mortgage. Got Rich with me again here today. Rich, how you doing?
Good morning, Michael.
Well, I'm glad you're here with me, Rich. We are talking about how the real housing economy looks. And so, Rich, we pulled an article today from CNN. It says, here's why the housing slowdown isn't lowering home prices. So, Rich, with that headline, what are some of the indicators that we are seeing out there in the marketplace that seem to be a little bit contradictory?
God, where do we start? But the whole premise to it is, there's just not enough affordable housing that, the 25, 28-year-old can buy. That's the biggest problem. So you're limited to certain buyers. And those buyers, they know they hold the cards right now. And sellers are so stubborn because they really, unless you really have to sell, you're being relocated for work or, you had a job layoff or something like that, which is a lot of the uncertain things that are happening right now. You just don't have to sell. So you're not willing to come off the price. And that's mainly what's happening. So they're doing concessions. They're helping the buyers buy the interest rates down. But then they get into the inspection period. And then now the buyers are like, well, you got to pay for this and you got to pay for that and you got to pay for this. And as of August, 15% of all purchase contracts are being canceled in that stage. And that's elevated from May, which was 6%. So you're starting to see it happen more and more today.
Yeah, Rich, in this article, it talks about how buyers are just particularly willing to walk away from contracts right now. And it seems like they are really digging in their heels and saying, this is what I can do. This is what my payment can be. And of course, Rich, we know that people are qualifying right on the edge and saying, like, hey, if it's not going to be at this price point, then I literally cannot do it in my budget or I can't qualify. And so there's not this ability for the sellers like in the past to have these bidding wars, bid that up and still get all those interested buyers to come because they're just not there.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, and they're stretching their budgets to buy the homes at the prices that they're at today. So when it does get down to the inspection period and there are major repairs that need to happen, they can't afford to make those repairs. And a lot of mortgages that these younger buyers are getting are government mortgages, which require many of those repairs to be done prior to close. So it's just a catch-22 for buyer and seller. Someone's got to pay for it. If the buyer can't, the seller must. And if the seller's like, I already came off the price, go pound sand, can't contract done.
So, Rich, let's go back to the premise of the title of the article. Why the housing slowdown isn't lowering the home prices? You said that sellers just don't have to sell right now. Mm-hmm. There's got to be some psychology behind that because it just feels like, hey, if these houses aren't moving, these houses are staying on the market. It seems like what you should see is a general reduction across the board in home prices. So why is that not happening?
Well, you have to imagine, I'm a seller. I don't want to come off my price and I don't really have to sell. I'm sitting at 2.75 on my interest rate. If I go and buy a new home, I'm going to be at 6.5. So there's like no exchange for me. And I don't want to give away all the equity that I've earned in the last, 5 years. So there's a lot of, sellers are just being stubborn because they can. They're giving up a very low interest rate selling their property. And they're going to go get a bigger or a higher interest rate, a higher payment, probably for not as much home as they have now. So to stay within a budget. So these are all the reasons. The sellers just, they're not totally motivated. Yes, they want to, if someone gave them a full offer, done. Those homes would sell, but the buyers just can't afford it. They can't afford it today. So they're negotiating, they're bringing the price down, and the sellers are just getting a little, frustrated with it. We're in that kind of gray area where both want the best. The sellers want the most out of the transaction as possible, and the buyers want the most out of the transaction as possible, and neither one want to give in. So, and neither one are really motivated to give in. So we're going to be in this period for a period of time. Interest rates come down a little bit, maybe motivate sellers to move their property and go buy another one, and the buyers will have more buying power as interest rates come down to kind of meet maybe in the middle with sellers.
Totally get that, Rich. It's a super interesting time psychologically in the economy right now, not only with housing, but right now as we speak, the government is shut down, but we are reaching record highs in the stock market, and so there just seems to be all these different things going on, and it takes a lot to think through what the psychology behind all these things is. So weird times right now.
Yeah, imagine being a buyer right now. If, there's a lot of layoffs happening. Never mind the government. I mean, just in the private sector, things are slowing down. The economy is slowing. And, the whole AI, all the talk about AI, if there's a lot of folks that are going to be displaced by this technology, and there's just some uncertainty on what the future looks like. And, some buyers just don't want to get, caught up in a mortgage when they're just not very secure in their employment right now.
Well, Rich and I have some buddies kind of in the services industry, foundation repair, contractors, and they're seeing the same thing right now. People are just not willing to invest the money into their current homes because of that uncertainty. So just a lot of uncertainty out there that's really kind of bogging down decision making. Seems to be a lot of cash sitting on the sidelines. So hopefully, like you said, it's not a great thing that job reports are showing job losses, but that probably will push the Fed's decision when it comes to interest rates. And so hopefully the positive knock-on effect of that is that we see some cuts in the fall and maybe some of these things level out. Rich, what are you kind of expecting as we go into the end of the year with the market? I know we don't like to make too many predictions here, but anything that you're hearing with your ear to the ground?
Yeah, I expect things to be pretty good. There are a lot of builders right now needing to move a lot of inventory, and they're really coming off price, and they're doing incredible things for buyers. So the new build market, if you're in it, there's a lot of inventory homes ready for you to buy. It's really a good time to buy. So I expect that our builder partners are going to be moving some product, and they're going to be a lot of happy young buyers in these homes right now. So I'm excited for what the next few months, the rest of the year, the fourth quarter looks like. And I'm definitely excited to get into 2026 and have a whole new outlook, hopefully with a little bit lower interest rates and just more positive mindset out there. That'll be great.
Yeah, well, Rich, as we move to the end of the year and into 2026, it's a great time for you loan professionals out there to kind of examine where you're going in your career, what 2026 looks like for you. And we have developed a loan officer survey to help you do just that. If you click the link below or you go to todayinmortgages.com, you will see that survey. It'll give you the opportunity to benchmark yourself against other loan officers in the industry, see where you and your company fall, and help you make career decisions based on comp, support, technology, product, and more. Click that link below, fill out the survey to get your free report and see where you fall in the industry. Rich, as we kind of close this out and we look at these kind of tale of two economies, anything else you want to say on this or anything else?
I just want the buyers out there that need to buy a home, stay positive, keep at it, get after it, have a great real estate partner that you're working with, and definitely choose a great mortgage partner to work with. And hopefully it's someone with network funding.
Good word, Rich. Well, thanks so much for making us smart on this. It is interesting to look at this psychology of the economy, and especially in the housing right now. And so we appreciate you giving the insight. Rich always brings the insight here within the network. So if you're interested in learning more about the best network in mortgages, click the grow link below. We'll get you all the information you need to know. Rich, thanks again. Thanks everyone out there for watching, listening, wherever you are. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time on Today in Mortgages. Today in Mortgages is produced by Network Funding LP, which is an equal housing lender, NMLS 2297. The content of this program is meant to be a commentary on mortgage and real estate news, and any discussion of rates and or products should not be taken as an individual mortgage or home buying advice or pricing estimates. And any commentary on this show should not be considered a promise to make a loan. All applicants for a loan must qualify, and you should consult a professional regarding your individual loan scenarios for your financial situation. Visit our website at nflp.com/licenses for all state licensing and other legal information.